On 9th August 2024, a trainee doctor from RJ Medical College and Hospital was brutally raped and murdered. That incident was so horrific that it shook the consciousness of entire nation. Lots of people came on the streets and they demanded justice. Still, people are coming on the streets and they are protesting against that incident. We all know about that. When people demand for justice, what they generally want is more stringent punishment for the culprits. But what is the actual solution of the curse of our society called rape? What is actual solution that is supported by scientific research? Before entering into the solution, let us first try to understand how big this problem is. According to the government body called NCRB, every day in India about 90 rape cases are occurring. On top of that, according to the NCRB itself, about 71% of rape cases are not being reported. So we have understood that this problem is a really big problem in our society. How do we solve this problem? After reading several news articles, several research articles and statistics, I have come to this conclusion that this solution can be divided into two parts. First part is prevent the potential rapists and second part is create less potential rapists. All the statistics, all the news articles and all the research articles that are used to make this video are included in the description of this video. Those who are interested can go to the description section of this video and see them. If you are still watching this video, that means you are really interested to know the solution of this problem. And the first part of the solution is prevent the potential rapists. So you want to know who are the potential rapists and how we can prevent them. That is the first part of the solution. So let us enter into that. So who is a potential rapist? Any person who is capable of committing rape and who may commit rape in the future is a potential rapist. People generally think that rapists are some crazy monsters, but they are otherwise very normal people in general, like you and me. In the US, there is a survey that has shown that between 6 to 14% college students are rapists and they have self-confessed it. The number goes to 23% in China. That means in China, 23% college students are rapists and they have self-confessed it. This number goes to 60% in the Papua New Guinea. According to NCRB, 86% of rapists are known to the victim. That means these rapists are family members, neighbors, friends, colleagues and people like that. So rapists are part of our society and they are very huge in number. So we have understood that potential rapists are not aliens. They are part of our society and they are very huge in number. How do we deter them so that they don't commit rape? The deterrence effect of any rape law depends on two things. First thing is the harshness of the punishment and second thing is the certainty of conviction. In India, I think the harshness of punishment is very strong because rapists are given punishment between life imprisonment and death penalty. So this is very strong punishment, but still in India rape is not reducing. Why? Because the second part is very low in India, which is the certainty of conviction. And according to Daniel Nagin, if the certainty of conviction is very low, then this deterrence effect will not work because this certainty of conviction is more stronger element for deterrence effect. To improve the number of conviction of the rapists, first we have to improve the number of rape incidents being reported. But according to NCRB, which I have already mentioned, that more than 71% rape incidents are not being reported. So why rape victims and their families don't report rape incidents? It is because our society is very deeply divided into two parts. In one part, people are very weak socially and economically. On the other side, people are stronger socially and economically. Now when a rapist comes from this stronger background, these people, these weaker people, they cannot stand against these stronger people. So they cannot report the incident. Another reason why rape victims don't report the incidents is because our society is deeply patriarchal society. In our society, women do not have any power. They cannot report the incidents against the rapists because if they try to do so, rapists will threaten them and sometimes harm them. But there are no proper systems in our society to support them. Because our society is patriarchal, whenever any such incident occurs, everybody blames the victim. Everybody says that that girl must have some flaws, that's why she was raped. Apart from that, now people will think that she is no longer a virgin girl, she has become now unclean. It will be very difficult for her to get married, so she must hide it. She cannot report it. To improve number of reporting, we have to empower weaker section of our society socially and economically. Especially we have to empower our women and we have to stop victim blaming. After reporting, there will be investigation. But in India, investigation is very ineffective and inefficient. I have already said. I have said to reduce the number of rape incidents in India, what we have to do is we have to do two things. First thing is we have to deter the potential rapists, and second thing is we have to create less potential rapists. So in the first part, to deter the potential rapists, what we have to do is we have to improve the conviction rate. And to improve the conviction rate, first of all, what we have to do is we have to improve the reporting rate. And to improve the reporting rate, what we have to do is we have to empower the weaker section of our society. Especially we have to empower women of our society. And we have to stop victim blaming. Second thing what we have to do is we have to improve our investigation system and we need police reform. Third thing that we need is we need our justice system to be improved. So if we do all these things, potential rapists will be deterred because there will be better conviction rate. Now we will enter into the second part of the solution, which is create less potential rapists. To create less number of potential rapists, we have to understand what are the factors that are responsible for creating a potential rapist. There are two types of factors. First type of factors are socio-cultural factors and second type of factors are biological and psychological factors. The first socio-cultural factor is the patriarchal mindset. When a society is patriarchal, in that society it is believed that male members of the society are more valuable, they are more important, they are more powerful, they are dominant, they contribute more to the society, and the female members of the society are less valuable, they are less important, they are less powerful, they are submissive, they contribute less to the society. In such an environment, it is seen that various kinds of violence and crime against women is fostered, including rape. Children who grow up in such an environment will develop exactly same patriarchal mindset. Male children of this society will grow up to believe that they are entitled. They are entitled to use even force against female members of the society for their own pleasures. There is chance that with such attitude, these kids will grow up to become potential rapists. In this point, we have understood that to reduce the number of potential rapists, we have to change this patriarchal mindset. How do we change this patriarchal mindset? We have to teach our kids in our schools, in our colleges and in our universities about consent, about respect for other genders, about healthy relationships, etc. Our governments, NGOs and communities should also teach our older people by various campaigns about all these sensitive issues. In a society where women are objectified and dehumanized, in that society, male members think that women can be used as objects. If you look at Indian movies, you will see that women are being compared with halwa, lollipop, ice cream and things like that. In a society where women are compared with objects, in that society, male members will think that women are just objects. They do not have their independent thoughts and their own feelings. They are just objects, so they can be used just like an object. In such a society, it is obvious that there will be more potential rapists. So if we want to reduce the number of potential rapists in our society, the second thing we have to do is we have to stop dehumanization and objectification of women. We have to change our entertainment industry and we have to teach about this objectification and dehumanization to our kids and also our older people through various kinds of NGOs and government campaigns, etc. Another important socio-cultural factor that creates potential rapists is normalization of sexual violence. If you look at at this joint report by UNICEF and UN Women, you see the title of this report is Mapping the Nexus, Media Reporting of Violence Against Girls and the Normalization of Violence. From this title, you have already understood that there is connection between media reporting and normalization of sexual violence. If a media presents a news about sexual violence in an insensitive way, if they present the news as if it is just entertainment for their viewers for TRP, or if they present the news from some romantic angle, then an impression is created among the viewer's mind that these things are normal and acceptable in our society. Our politicians are also responsible for normalizing the sexual violence. If you look at this report, you will see that after a rape incident, Mulayam Singh Yadav said that लड़के लड़के हैं, गलती हो जाती है. Boys will be boys, they commit mistakes. If you look at this report, you will see that after the Park Street rape incident, Mamata Banerjee said, I was told the girl had an affair with the boy. As if a boy and a girl have any kind of relationships, the boy gets any right to rape that girl. Such insensitive statement actually normalizes the crime of rape. Indian movies are responsible for normalization of sexual violence. In many movies, you will see that teasing, stalking, forcing women to do something, these things are romanticized. I'll give you only 3 names: Dar, Puspa, Animal. I hope that now you will be able to identify more films that fall in this same category. If you look at our abusive words, you will see that these words involve someone's mother or sister. We casually use these words every day. This casual usage of such words normalizes violence against our mothers and sisters. In a society where sexual violence is normalized, it is obvious that in that society there will be more number of potential rapists. So to reduce the number of potential rapists, our media and entertainment industry has to be sensitive enough not to normalize sexual violence. In our personal capacity, we can promise to ourselves that we will never use any language that normalizes sexual violence. We can also try to teach about this to our friends and family members. Another socio-cultural factor that is responsible for creating potential rapists is toxic masculinity. So what is toxic masculinity? Toxic masculinity is a social norm where it is believed that men cannot have emotions, they cannot have empathy towards other human beings, they should use force, they should be very strong, they should dominate over women. Now what is healthy masculinity? In healthy masculinity, it is believed that men can have emotions and they can have empathy towards other human beings and they should not dominate and control other human beings. This research article shows that toxic masculinity is causing and reinforcing sexual harassment. And if we begin to move away from toxic masculinity and towards a healthier view of masculinity, this will in turn lead to less societal acceptance of sexual harassment and less need for using sexual harassment as coping mechanism. Another important socio-cultural factor that creates potential rapists is peer pressure. It is seen that adolescents tend to form groups for their socialization. Those groups are called peer groups. If in any peer group the dominant belief is in patriarchy and toxic masculinity, then any individual from that group will have more tendency to commit sexual violence. Some of them may become potential rapists. So to reduce the number of potential rapists, we have to make sure that the dominant belief and practice in these groups is not toxic and patriarchal. Now we will enter into the neurological and psychological factors that contribute to sexual violence, including rape. Research has shown that if there are some abnormalities in the prefrontal cortex of somebody, that person becomes more compulsive and aggressive. These people tend to commit sexual violence, including rape. If there is an imbalance of neurotransmitters in a person's brain, then that person also becomes compulsive and aggressive. That person tends to become potential rapist. There are some psychological illness like personality disorder, schizophrenia or psychopathy. These illnesses contribute to sexual violence, including rape. When a person gets these illness, his ability to judgment goes down, he becomes aggressive and his empathy becomes very weak. So these people tend to commit various kinds of violence, including rape. Many research articles have shown that when a child goes through violence and sexual abuse, he develops various kinds of psychological disorders. So in summary, if we want to reduce the number of sexual violence and rape in India, we have have to change our society. We have to improve our police system. We have to improve our justice system. In the individual level, we have to stop being patriarchal. We have to stop normalization of sexual violence, and we have to stop objectification of women. And also there should be proper system in our society to address neurological and psychological problems. If you learned anything in this video and you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe this channel. I will see you soon in the next video.